Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. Before we fall for you all here on the Eastern Front in downtown. If you've seen downtown before, you know what we're kind of in for. This is a map filled with ruins and rubble that's just entirely urban. There's nothing really else that stands out here. It's just urban nightmares everywhere. Let's go through the players. We're in the Soviet Union today. We have Crazy Man NL. Where's the command post? There he is. Without a commander, Church. You have Ditalha without a commander. Likely straight out the gate with Tank Division. And we have Orkon without a command church. Representing the Germans, they're defending this city, or what's left of it. We have Fingers as Infanteriedivision for die Wehrmacht. We have Jekyll as Sturmtaktik for the Waffen-SS. We have Observators Mechanisierte Tactics for the Waffen-SS. And finally, we have Lobo as Ostdivision for die Wehrmacht. We're fighting somewhere probably deep within a German city at this point in the war on the Eastern Front. Doesn't have to be in Germany though, could also be in Poland, but I get a feeling this might very much be somewhere in Germany. And the Soviets are quickly rushing around to get to points around the city. It's not a victory point game, so this game could last for a very long time potentially. Like the Germans managed to get to the center of the urban area. On to someone, sorry about that. Long Grenadiers are just sitting around. Let's get moving around, taking territory. I had to clean my keyboard here recently, so it might be a little bit more clickety-clacky if I'm moving around. Looks like the Wehrmacht might be encountering the Soviets down here, but the first shots have already been fired in the north here by the Pioneers encountering some more Soviet units around the statue of the Virgin Mary by the looks of it. Grenadiers quickly trying to get into position here. Probably going to try and use one of the buildings if they can. Or they're just going to try and circle all the way around. No, they're getting inside the structure. With all the urban environments, we might see a lot of structures being used and demolished. You know, the Infanteriedivision of the Wehrmacht is encountering more Soviets on the southern flank. Soviets on the southern flank are bringing more Frontoviki in rather than conscripts, so some more professionally trained Soviet infantrymen. Same is happening here in the center by the looks of it. Rifle shots being exchanged. Grenadiers also around here. Opening fire, the rest of their builds find those sandbags. They are Sturm Grenadiers. They probably do a pretty good job on all things considered. Grenadiers of the SS is trying to get up here. Inside the structures. And opening fire on the flank. Getting some quick shots into the Soviets there. Mowing them down in seconds, as you could see. Yeah, the Soviets got outmaneuvered on the northern flank. They have to pull back. These Germans have a little bit of an advantage in this case. You know, the south, the Soviets have managed to break through. Infanterie just slowly scattering around, but they're dealing with very veteran German infantry. That's kind of the advantage of playing Infanteriedivision in Spearheads, as the Wehrmacht. All your infantry units arrive as veterans, which is pretty good to have, actually. Veterans are very efficient at their job. He'll give you an upper hand early on sometimes. Tiny is trying to crawl back to his comrades here, as his other soldiers help cover him, but some soldiers are throwing a grenade. There's a big exchange here. And the center of Waffen-SS is still holding. MT-42 heading out to the Sturm Grenadiers. Maxim is being rolled out though for the Soviet Union. SS Grenadiers are waiting around. Pioneers with flamethrowers also present now. Clear out the streets if they need to. Looks like some Osttruppen here are now here to support the German army, laying some reinforced barbed wire. The Kulwagen MT-44 driving through the streets. Lots of conscript support in the center here alongside the Maxim. Probably waiting for orders to assault the position. They have suppressed the Sturm Grenadiers. At least I'm still trying to. Frontoviki also on the flank up here, right next to the graveyard. Where's the church? Oh, here's the church. Squad of Panzerjägers have also arrived here to help prepare for any Soviet vehicles. Like, urban fights on the Eastern Front are pretty damn brutal, as you could expect. Oh, this Kulwagen is going down. Yeah, got cleared out there quick by some rifle rounds. And the southern flank, the Wehrmacht is still trying to hold on. They've set up a forward operating headquarters here. But they can call the Luftlande if they need it. That's the unique battle group available to infantry. We have a Dushka coming up here for the Soviet Union. Not sure where its plans to set up though. This is a Soviet 50 caliber machine gun. It's already being pinned down by an MT-42 here. He needs to get out of there quick. Looks like he might be able to get out of there. So it's doing an assault here for the sender. The Mthis has to pull back briefly. Oh, Sturmpaniers go down. That's a pretty big loss. Huns continue to be very cautious in these engagements. But the Sturm Grenadiers are not really equipped with any short-range weaponry at the moment. Mortar ramming here for the Waffen-SS. This also reminds me, it looks like the Ost Division just keeps digging in when there's often part of the city into a killing field for any Soviets that might approach. Just doing delaying actions, and the Soviets are digging in on the other side of them. Mortars opening fire now from the Waffen-SS. Trying to get a little bit closer here. The Sturm Grenadiers are kind of suppressed here by the Maxim. That's going to make them easy target for the conscripts as they assault. Molotov about to be tossed here. Yeah, the Germans have to quickly get out of there. That Mortar is in big trouble. As you can see, they're very quickly being shot at. And that's to be cleared out here. Damn, is he actually going to make it? They actually make it through. I love here the Soviets are trying to assault, but the Ost Division is holding them back. Also have an anti-tank rifle in that building by the Grenadiers. Equipped with everything they can manage to just try and hold the line. And they see the forces set up some Dragon's Teeth here to cover this ground for vehicles. And down here looks like the Infantry Division successfully securing a line and equipping their Volksgrenadiers with Sturmgewehrs. Unique upgrade for them if you're playing as infantry, which can really boost the firepower potential of your Volksgrenadier. So yeah, some specialist penal force on the field here now for the Soviet Union. Looks like they might have an artillery division, I think. That's the artillery. Artillery, shock, tank, and rifle. So a good little mix all around here for the Soviet Union. Guards taking Norfolks with fully PBSH routes soon. Epicists. Also another guard squad inside that structure. Waffen-SS Grenadiers are trying to hold the line. Doing the best they can behind sandbags and everything else they can find. The Germans just keep digging in everywhere they can, leaving sort of a fort headquarters back here they can operate from. Waffen-SS are still waiting for orders down here, I imagine. They are calling this angle over here now. Listen, the infantry is trying to push it for the streets. Not an easy approach for them though. The Germans are securing more of the ground. They have a little mine here. Doesn't look like it. The fight continues up here as the Soviet Guards are slowly pushing in. Especially with all these PBSAs, that'll be a hard unit to fight in close quarters combat. They do have a 2-2-1 waiting around here. About to become a 2-2-2 soon. More conscripts are pushing through. Carrying a German machine gun here. Just named MT-34, but it's still a German machine gun. Booby trap has been set up here by the Germans, they're prepared. That's trying to get around the corner here. But that fight's not going in their favor now with the 2-2 opening fire too. That's got killed. So it mortars now arriving as well. Down here we have a T-70 arriving for the Soviet Union. A little light tank available to many Soviet commanders. Surprisingly useful. Surprisingly well armored for its front, for its little size, by the way. A pretty lackluster gun. Soviet officers also now arriving. Trying to get a mark of an artillery strike down there, isn't he? Yeah, he is. We also have an airdrop coming up here from the Wehrmacht. Emergency airdrop with some equipment. That'll be a pack and an MT-34, I think. Yep. But down here the Soviet artillery is landing and takes out the machine gun. They fight down here in the streets as the Mthis tries to push up with machine guns. Lots of machine guns down these squads. They're being flanked here by the penal troopers. Up here, the Wehrmacht keeps sticking in. They even got the Lieutenant on the field here now. And the command bunker back here to operate from. The Germans are set up to hold the northern flank pretty reliably. We also have a Lend-Lease half-track here for the Soviet Union. But with a proud mower. So to bring up more mortar teams to the southern flank. The Wehrmacht infantry division just remains really well dug in. But we see lots of machine guns scattered around the front here for the Germans, as you kind of would expect of them. Especially in this kind of urban environment. Hauptmann on the move here, needs to be careful of that 222. The 222 has been equipped with Radpanzer, so it can actually sustain the frontal strikes of 50 caliber surprisingly well, especially at range. Guards trying to creep up somewhat. I don't think they have a way to get in there easily. But they can use the structures, right? That seems like a bug position. Most of them moving up here. They're being pinned down by the crowd mower being present. Also the Eastern Europeans that conscripted to fight for the Germans, so they're not as reliable. Well, they managed to get the Panzerfaust off on the half-track, though. The troops on the move now. Been driving around. Getting some fire down the street here, but there's a lot of obstacles in the way of the shots. But some all kind of shots are hitting, and that's all it takes. Continue upgrading that structure. Lots of mortar strikes from each side here. Mortars are pretty useful to use in an urban environment, so that makes sense. It's like shock troopers are pushing through down here. Oh, that was a Gewaltladung! Oh, that was painful. The stormtroopers basically just saved that front there from the for the German side. That could have been much, much worse. Much, much worse.
Combat engineers are standing by.
More delivering in the guard infantry here. Killing them instantly from a shell. Artillery is landing around the field. So the Soviet artillery commander is preparing for a push somewhere now. We have a T-34-76 arriving here for the Soviet Shock Army. Oh, this is not the Shock Army. This is the Tang Army, I think. Or emergency airdrops here for the Wehrmacht. Another pack and another MP-34. There's some plenty of equipment to work with, that's for certain. Also laying a mine here. It's going to be a telemine. I can disable practically any vehicle. I'm still trying to push forward here, but they're encountering too many Germans. Especially stormtroopers with fully equipped with Sturmgewehrs. That is a very lethal thing to encounter. Like, these stormtroopers are going to be very nightmarish to fight. Boom's pushing up here. They're just next to the Soviets. Don't get Gewaltladung there. That could be in that structure. Yep. Clears out here one side. The more Soviets are arriving. The Leutnant is trying to hold the line here. Molotov's going his way though, or hitting the Pioneers behind him. Artillery being called in. Sets up the telemine. 54-76 on the main road here, inside the streets. Well, I guess it would be a main street, to be honest. There's a squad of Panzerjägers nearby. Don't have sight on it, though. I'm not hitting T-70 still being an issue. But the stormtroopers don't have any actual AT equipment unless they can get close. Which is not an easy thing for them to do like this. Especially such a small target as the T-70. The more shock troopers are arriving here. And we're fully equipped with PPSHs. There's very little here that can stop them, I think, but there's a Panzer IV J arriving. They're being called in front of them. They just push forward. They do not give a shit. Laying out the crew in seconds. Now they have to deal with the Panzer IV J. And the T-70 is not going to be able to do much of the frontal armor of that. It's hit there but survives. Damaged engine though. And so it might be the damaged exhaust. Yeah, it only has an engine fire, okay. The T-3476 has to pull back for repairs. Some more buildings are now being set ablaze by all the fighting. More Peagle troopers holding the line down here. Bosconiers trying to get a bun flash off, and they do succeed in that, but that's about it. Panzer IV J is trying to go down the street now. Trying to hunt on that T-70. Ooh! After tank rifle actually manages to drive into the driver. Artillery goes in. So it's really cannot really stop that Panzer IV, so it's able to pull back safely. And more shock troopers now threatening through the main road here. Oh, one shall hit straight on this Soviet Mortar. Even Mortars is generally more reliable in counter barrage mode. Far more accurate. Oh, closer to the two got cleared out, but can still be recovered. Panther turn being set up in the streets. And that will be very hard for the Soviets to deal with. Both Soviets are preparing to make a move here. Tossing a grenade, they need a machine gun. Only kills one member. Panzer IV racing on the street here, but has to be careful. Be very cautious here, but there's a T-34 present. Takes it out, hits the ammo rack, and takes it out in one shot. That's why you need to be very careful when facing enemy tanks like this. Tanks generally not do very well in urban environments, you can imagine. We have a Panzer IV one arriving here for the Ostdivision. One flash hits the Storm Pioneers. Looks like the Soviets are dropping in some munitions. If focus cleared out though, which means the Germans can steal those munitions. They're pretty running on that chance. Leutnant rushes forwards and secures the cache. Leave behind cover there quickly. So as we recover the other cache. That'll help the German war effort a little bit by giving a few more munitions. Stormtroopers holding the center here, they just need to stay behind cover. And the Sturmgewehr should be able to win out that engagement. Stormtroopers are very hard to fight. If you would kind of imagine of them, they are meant to be very dangerous units, especially when equipped right. We have a T-45 Ace arriving here for the Soviet Union. Trying to oversee the front line and try and stabilize things. More German artillery is being called in on their Soviet positions though. Oh, lots of artillery, very widespread. T-45 has been immobilized. This is a Fort headquarters to operate from over here. Down here we have the Stormtroopers now assaulting this position. Mowing down the Fonsoviki very quickly. We need to use vehicles to really slow these units down. Because they shred enemy infantry like it's no problem. We also stock G for support and some more units from the Infantry Division.
Officers are now available for transfer to the front.
We have a T-45 arriving here for the Soviet Shock Army. The Soviets are still trying to press up through that street. The double heads are being called here by the Infantry Division. We have full-on penal troopers here from the Soviet Union. Very high number of squads that are very easy to kill, but very cheap. Very good fodder infantry, more or less. Those pushing forwards here. Getting behind heavy cover. They're starting to hand out SVTs here to the conscripts, which allow them to have a little bit more firepower to work with. Stark is going to get killed here, I think. Mattcasting down there by the 85. The Germans are suffering heavy losses there. 25 ace is recovered. Isn't immobilized anymore. All buildings are collapsing to all the artillery. You also have Ostrup now with 6 men, which is a unique upgrade. They can get a bit into 2, I think. I think you get about that in there. Also good damage. As the Germans are preparing a counter assault here with Romanian. No, those are not Romanians. These are Hungarian. Oh, we might be somewhere in the Balkans. Yeah, this would be the Balkans, not the Baltic. So we have Hungarian infantry in the field here. Trying to fight here in the urban environment, being equipped with MP40s as well as a flamethrower squad here. With double flamethrowers. He's recovered ace though. Hungarians gonna try and do the best they can, I think. They're being shot at by so many machine guns here. So much fighting. Still landing on the southern Soviet position. Pulled in by the infantry division. Not doing too much yet. We also have Hetzers now present in the fields. One needs repairs though. We have a Panzer II Lux arriving here on the northern flank for the the Germans. Please tie down those tank hunters quick. He's trying to find an 85, but that's not gonna work. As you can see. And mortar is also being called in here. Like, Eastern Front battles always get so intense, as you can imagine. Shells landing everywhere and causing some disruption. Also a major here from the Soviet Young Army. You can call in some pretty intense artillery barrages, by the way, I think. Or not. But he can do a 152mm precision shot. And a big bombing run. He does have some abilities. But he's a mate, so he shouldn't actually be fighting at the front line that much. Shocktroopers are also heading over here now. The Stormtroopers are still a threat. They can be suppressed though if the PVS-8s can get some good shots in. They didn't instant grade there, but they'll be able to be suppressed by the machine gun. And they decided to pull back because of that. No need to risk it. Also, the Hungarians have been pushed back again. We also have the Frundsberg here, I think they're called. The unique Hansgrenadiers able to mechanisierte. Very good defensive infantry. They've been equipped with a Panzerbüchse, so they have a grenade launcher basically. Which you can see them using. Probably a very good weapon choice for the urban environment, to be honest. That's about arcs, as you can see. 85 pushing at the center now. The Germans lack a lot of AT here in the center. There's no mines either. That could be really bad. The MT-42 so far holding the position. The tank is slowly whittling away that cover. It's not using a high explosive round though. Probably saving that in case it sees the Stormtroopers. Because they are a much more worthwhile target to do it on. MT-42 decides he wants to pull back. We have more munitions being airdropped in. But the Wehrmacht is keeping an eye on the point. Jaeger squad's also arriving now. Can they do anything to try and stop the Soviets from getting the munitions? Yeah, the Soviets grab another munition, but they lose the Sabers in return. What's being called here by the Lieutenant? It's gonna be a semi mortar barrage. The Soviets have all the munitions, or at least most of them. Well, up here the fighting continues. Battle here is getting kind of intense. Mortar being called here by the Soviets. There's lots of mortar rounds. And this T-476 is pressing down here. We might have to try going here for the Mthis. Now that we see the front line and provide some radio support. Mthis is doing his best here. Mortally landing from the German side. So much action going on here. Fastest rocket mode now. You have a Sturmtiger on the field here for the Germans. And this unit is pretty devastating. We'll see how useful it will be in an urban environment now. The already has a target. Preparing to fire that. Cleans out this area. And deafens me too. Forces the Soviets to back off. Now the Soviets know they need to be a little bit more aggressive because that Sturmtiger can just slowly whittle away at them. Which they do not want to have to deal with. That's why the Soviets are probably pushing so hard in the center now. Stormtroopers are going to mow down those shock troopers though. Sturmgewehr is just so much better.
A squad of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
The fire continues up here at large. Also, we have some headsets ready to move over here for the Infantry Division. And here's a trying to secure the munitions point, but it's not really working out that well for them. So this could probably press down here, but they aren't doing it yet. And the German infantry is ready to get in, back into fighting positions. Up here, the Pioneers are slowly pushing up alongside the Hungarians. Hungarians get inside the structure here. Might be a misclick though, because I don't think that's going to save them. They're quickly pulling out of that. And he's flanking around with the MP40s. Do kill the sappers though, so they're actually fine. Hungarians also ready to come around the back here. Hunters doing their best to try and hold the line. The Gebaldeladung pins into the ground. So the Hungarians could be able to get close enough for another Gebaldeladung. They really want to go for it. The Gebaldeladung being tossed there. They aim for the structure. At least in front of it. Doesn't do too much though, it just pins them down. The Germans have to pull back as an incendiary mortar strike hits around their positions back here. Well, down here, we see a lot of artillery. Oh, it looks like the Wehrmacht has set up a howitzer to fire at. I'll certainly keep the Soviets a little bit further back. Soviets are certainly taking a lot of losses. They need a lot more replacement infantry. Just to try and set up their own howitzer close to the front line. '85 in the center. Bombers remain about. Packs are also rolling up trying to get rid of that ace. Manhattan trying to hide itself the best it can in that street. Germans are quite well fortified up here still. Pillboxes and everything they need. The Soviets really need to press somewhere else, like the center, I feel. Because they're just slowly being whittled down and trying to push up here. Maybe one coming out here for the Soviet Union. Also, the Stormtroopers got a little bit more than they asked for here in the center. A little bit too many tanks. I think the Soviets' best bet is to try and push for the center somehow. '85 base has to pull back for repairs. This next wave of Soviets come to the front line. Hungarians remain just behind the buildings. Leutnant gets hit by a Poltov, so he decides to pull back. Hungarians follow him. Soviets on the field here. Getting very close to the front line. Oh, some minimal damage this time. T-34, 76 on the attack. Engine gets burned. Two Soviets got hit, but they're still able to move. But it's actually no, it's not able to move. Been immobilized. Shock troopers are trying to get around the flank here, hitting some Sturmgrenadier. And moving now in seconds there. Shock troopers are really afraid to the flank. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad for the Mthis. They're about to lose all the infantry. Well, not all of it, actually, surprisingly. Just the Panzerjägers. And one Sturm Pioneers. That could actually be way worse. Artillery lands around. More tanks push up here. And down here looks like the Wehrmacht is slowly trying to push up. Founding more defenses of the Soviet Union.
The enemy is trying to destroy a structure.
Oh, tell them I did not actually destroy the tank. They did not. It went off too soon. This is a bug that happens sometimes. Very unfortunate. I would have stopped that 85 in an instant if it worked correctly. Before needs to stop up here to get prepared. We also have a Soviet sniper team on the field here in front of this burning bank. A little bit of arson never hurt anyone if it's in the name of socialism. Burning down capitalist institutions like banks. Or whatever bullshit they would say. 85 is opening up here with an explosive round. And there was a heat, but it took out the machine gun nonetheless. So the Kapitan is calling in some kind of artillery strike. Might be 122mm. Let's get on there. And those are some big shells. Could have been bigger. IS-2 is also coming onto the field soon. There's another pillbox here. They're trying to dig in the best they can. This Kapitan is not going to make it. There's not with the Sturmgrenadiers on it now with the MP40s. Stark is still a machine gun here. 85 shows around the corners, destroys in one shot. But the house is up here by the Waffen-SS now. Sturmtiger is waiting around for another target. But might have a target at this point, who knows. But the Soviets also pressing down here somewhat. The infantry is holding the line. As more Soviets are trying to creep around. Winsberg might be flanked here. Conscripts are too close. Ways to the conscripts' advantage. Sturmtiger is trying to get around here by being pinned down by all the tanks. Maybe two on the field. The Soviets bring out a lot of more interesting equipment. I say that, but the Germans even have a Sturmtiger, so that is already very interesting equipment to speak of. At least the Cyber wants to fire, though. So the guards trying to push up here, but there's a pillbox. Which prevents any meaningful push from happening. Sturmtiger opening fire. Takes out all the tanks here. So there's only two of them. But it does kill the ace that way. So the Germans are stabilizing their front somewhat. It's probably a little bit more painful than they anticipated, though. Sturmtiger falls back for repairs. The infantry holds the line on the southern flank. Another house being set up here close to the front line. Very aggressive house placement, I must say. Oh, good shot from the Sith! That's an explosive round, I think, from a high artillery strike. I don't think the Surge can hold this position for much longer. Yeah, then the Stabskapitan probably wants to pull back. That's too late. And Mthis is just going to get shut down out in the open as well. There's two in the field. Ah, right, use the AP rounds. You actually have to load with a high explosive round in a Spearhead. Like it's doing that now, that's why the storms would pull back. Oh! That was the KV-2 that fired, actually. This thing is an infantry killer. You know, the IS-2 is certainly that tank killer. It's gonna be very difficult for the Germans to deal with an IS-2 if it's used correctly. Panzerwassertantiere. Also a little bit of damage, but not much. That just shows how much armor the IS-2 has. This thing is a very hard thing to deal with for the Germans. They can immobilize with artillery if they are lucky. Probably their aim at the moment. Because if they can just keep that thing pinned down, they cannot really do much. Because the Stuka hits something down here. Source of all the southern flank are not doing so well. We also have Bulgarians on the field now. So we really are somewhere in the Balkans. This is like a Balkan urban nightmare going on right here. Very much downtown in some city. Oh, Shock was meant to push through. They have to pull back though. And that's a very bad retreat. Oh, that's a Flammhitzer! That's a Flammhitzer with, that's a Hitzer with a flamethrower attached instead of a normal gun. Very good in this kind of urban environment. As you can probably guess. Bulgarians on the field though here. I don't think they can do much unless they capture Panzerfausts. They're using SK-383s, which is a Czech submachine gun apparently. But here comes the Flammhitzer. The Bulgarians are not equipped for. Honestly, the Bulgarians are not really equipped for a lot. They're quickly grabbing the assist gun. Oh! They're shutting the rear by 85 and cleared out. Good showing there from 85. Stormtroopers are trying to get closer to do a Panzerknacker. They'll just back off. I don't think they can catch up to it. And up here looks like they managed to immobilize the KB-1. Panzerknackers are trying to push forward. Straight into the flames, that's not a good idea. And they're being mowed down. There goes the KB-1 though. We also have a B4 in the back here by the Rifle Division being set up. This will certainly be a problem. Yeah, B4 is absolutely ridiculous when you get a good shot off. It can neuter a fortified position. Stalin's Sledgehammer, I believe it was called. Very powerful artillery piece. 203mm. They're probably waiting to get sight in this area and then shelling it, I'm assuming. So there's some kind of artillery strike going in here. Might be an airstrike, who knows? This is an airstrike from the Luftwaffe. Was some plane managed to get through? Just a normal strafing run though. Here's our one squad. Oh, it's a Sturmtiger to fight somewhere. Destroyed a V-45 there by the looks of it. The KB-2 is now advancing. Because now the Sturmtiger is kind of vulnerable while it has to reload. That also means the IS-2 can move a little bit more safely. I'm really waiting to see where this B4 is firing. I think they're moving it. It takes a while to move this thing though. It's very, very heavy. Now the KB-2 is still pushing down here, taking down the Jaeger squad. But it's not encountered the Sturmtiger, so it decides to pull back. Where is this thing gonna fire? It's aiming around here, maybe? I'll have to find out soon enough.
One of our emplacements is under attack.
Certainly pointed to be ready to support, though. Name it whatever they need to fire at. But the Soviets are still pushing up here. Let's wait to see if this thing fires. That's why I'm keeping it selected. ISU's on the move. Sturmpioneers on the flank here. Just to ground. B4's firing. Oh, it's aiming around here, I think. Oh! As you can see there, it just neutered that position. I think it will fire 3 shells. So now the Germans are having a lot of issues. Because they can destroy a lot. Just a shockwave. Comes a second shell. With that, the Soviets also starting to advance. That was totally moving up. Sturmtiger fight again. Put a lot of stuff here. Both sides are bringing out the big guns by the looks of it. The church is on fire and going to be collapsing. That was the last shell from the IS. Not from the IS, the B4. Cleaning out another structure entirely. IS-2's on the advance slowly. Building a high explosive round on that machine gun. And cleans them out instantly. Another IS-2 being prepared. Smoke barrage going in. Mthis reloading back here. All this going on though. The KV-8 is trying to advance down here. The German infantry is in a very bad position. The forehead is on fire. I don't think the Wehrmacht can last there much longer. They might have to pull back. The KV-8 is taking a lot of hits here from the artillery. It's been immobilized, but it's still in a good position. Sturmtiger hits behind it though. KV-8 is still around. He refuses to die. The IS-2 remains operational up here. Anti-strike misses. Another KV-8 arriving here. I don't think the Wehrmacht infantry division can last much longer. And the KV-8s, that's just all more KV-8s arriving. They had the Wehrmacht sees what they have to just pull back. Now they're equipped for dealing with this. Sturmtiger is reloading back here. Stormtrooper is ready to try and hold the line. More packs are being requisitioned. But the Surge is still pressing up here now. With the second IS-2, it'll be much more difficult for the Germans to hold.
The enemy is trying to destroy a structure.
Artillery landing around there. There's lots of artillery from both sides. Maybe this pushes up pretty far here. Using its smaller gun to try and take out the howitzer. Not really working out to its advantage here. Oh, looks like Ostrup managed to clear out the AV-8. But the Surge just needs to secure ground now. They have the units nearby, they just need to get on the points. It's just been immobilized. It'll make an easy target if the Germans can get something that can pierce it. But the Surge shock army is preparing for a push here. That's a lot of shock troopers. Oops, yes, Sturmtiger hits and takes it out. Now it has to pull back for a reload. Just quickly in some mines though, which is the unique thing if you're playing as artillery. Your conscripts on Von Zwiege can actually lay mines as if they're engineers. Pretty useful. Up here looks like the Germans are trying to push a little bit further back. So Germans are taking a lot of losses doing this though. So the B4 is going to be ready for action again. Just needs a target. Yeah, second IS-2 has arrived. We need to try and take out the Sturmtiger because it's almost already reloaded. There you go, it's ready for action again. It's a very potent weapon. You know, so we have some Jagdpanzers now running here for the Infantry Division. A much better unit to deal with the KV-8s. Just gonna try and they're scavenging it. Oh wait, he was going to booby trap it. See, now that's a very cheeky move you can do. You can booby trap the howitzer. Smoke around there, the Jagdpanzer, that's gonna buy itself some time. Some Flammhits are trying to get around here. It's gonna be flame on flame action. Oh, but there is another Jagdpanzer nearby. One KV gets cleared out. Another one takes another big hit.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
While the IS-2 is trying to push up here. Artillery lands around it soon. Oh, that's anti-tank artillery. That's the circle. The IS-2 has to get out there quick. Because the longer the IS-2 stays in this circle, the more artillery will land around it. If one is going to try and go in for a heat round, I think. Oh, they managed to immobilize it. I think it's in the circle though. So if the Germans can keep sight on it, I think the shields will slowly come towards it, yeah.
Inspire our men.
Oh, but I think that was the last shells. So I think the IS-2 might be safe from the artillery at least. It will have to pull back. Small shells landing around. E-Force has already fired again by the looks of it. Which side is still winning this? It's still anyone's game. Because it's not a victory point game, it's gonna take a lot longer, as you can tell. So the Germans have made a little bit of a beachhead here. Even pushing forward the Flammhetzer. And cleaning out that Cis gun, manned by some Bulgarians. Not looking good for the Soviet artillery force. Lost a lot of their units. The Sturmtiger takes out their forward encampment. And this KV is stuck here. And just with his tiny gun too. There's also another KV stuck down here. Looks like they managed to get an anti-tank raid on top of the Sturmtiger, but it still survived. Oh, looks like we have the NKVD on the field. The Soviet political military police of the Communist Party, the Bolsheviks, I think. They're unique and available only to Rifle Company, I think, as a battle group. Not the unit you normally see in this kind of environment, but I guess they need to keep the soldiers in line. Perhaps they're fighting something gone as the Red Army intended. They have suffered a lot of losses, which I guess is pretty normal for the Soviets, but perhaps they've lost more losses than intended.
One of our emplacements is under attack.
Or counted for. Well, this very effective artillery is still going. Oh, this is another one. I guess as long as the Soviets just remain the circle, the more they'll be shelled. Yeah, it's not just a tank, it's just anything. Okay. P1 needs repairs. Flammhetzer just remains a threat down here. Needs to turn around and deal with this bunker. Soviets need to figure out what to do from here. Where's the KV-2? Oh, there's another second KV-2. I guess the other one got destroyed. Probably by the elephant or the no, there's an elephant. Either by the elephant or the Sturmtiger. Also an Ostwind here. I feel as if the Germans might have stabilized the front line and might actually be in the lead here now. Which is not easy to do against the Soviets in the late game. So it tends to be very much a steamroller faction. But I think that Sturmtiger certainly helps. Jagdpanzer taking shots down range and takes out the KV-8. Another IS-2 arriving. What can the Soviets do here? E-Force firing at something. I'm not sure what. Is it firing here? Ah, it's trying to take out the elephant. Does immobilize it. It's not an easy target to hit. Oh, looks like the Soviets managed to get close here to the Sturmtiger. There's too much covering it. Oh, there's an anti-tank. Oh! However, it is still fully recoverable. So the Germans are still in the good if they can recover that thing quick. Second Sturmtiger has been prepared. Which I believe means that another German player could grab the Sturmtiger. I don't think the Soviets are going to allow that. They need to prevent the Germans from capturing that Sturmtiger again. And using it. The Jagdpanzer is quickly moving up to try and put it on overwatch. Sturmtiger is nearby to try and cover it for it. KV-2 is nearby though. Germans have managed to recruit the Sturmtiger and it's firing. Takes out the KV-2. But now that's an IS-2. It's hit by the Jagdtiger. It's immobilized. Oh, that's not good for the IS. Needs to focus on the Jagdpanzer. But it lacks vision, because it has no infantry support. Oh. I think the Jagdtiger might win, Jagdpanzer might win. Yep. The tank hunter beats the tank. Well, tank destroyer beats the tank, rather. So it's bring up more infantry to secure the line. More shock troops are moving in as well. Are the Germans going to be able to have 2 Sturmtigers? Because normally you can only have 1 in the field at a time, but this is a very rare situation. You know, the Stormtroopers are just murdering everything they find on the streets. Oh, but the artillery shells are hitting very hard, very close. Yeah, I think the Soviets do not like the idea that the Germans have 2 Sturmtigers potentially. Looks like the Soviets are going to try and steal this Hetzer. Hetzer and that. They're also trying to reload the Sturmtiger quickly. Those quickly trying to get down the street. Even Ostrup nearby to try and help. But a Captain Panzerfaust takes up the Sturmtiger. So mission accomplished, but there's still going to be a second Sturmtiger soon anyway, so I don't think it helped them that much. Also more Hungarians in the field here. Oh, not looking good here. Hungarians are being cut to pieces. More guards in the field. We have another KB-1 arriving there as well. It's still anyone's game at this point. Neither side is looking to be in a bad position yet. But I still feel the Germans are still doing better. But it's always hard to judge, especially in the Eastern Front at this point. The Germans have lost a lot of their units and some of their commanders, though. Basically, the Sturm officer here for the Sturm forces here for the Waffen-SS. Mostly relying on this Sturmtiger to provide a lot of support. Which it most certainly is doing. At the same time, the Soviets have lost a lot down here on the artillery commander. And the Soviets can recover a lot easier. Another Flammhetzer here. There's also a Soviet Flammhetzer now. Sturmtigers on the move, Sturm Pioneers are around. Also normal Pioneers. Looks like an elephant got hit by something. Oh yeah, looks like something immobilized them. Might be the B4. It looks like it's the B4. At least that's what I assume. Oh, that's a Sturmtiger firing again. Takes out a lot of Soviets here. Man tank also present. The Germans can quickly fix those backs there. Let's need to actually repair them. Not sure which side is really doing the better here. I feel like the Germans are, but that's just... I just feel like the Germans are, but it's honestly very hard to tell. They kind of expect the Soviets to take a lot more losses. That's kind of how the faction is designed. It's meant to be able to sustain losses a lot more. Everyone is preparing to move down here. They get around... Can they get around the elephant's line of sight, though?
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Let's take out the stock first. Makes sense. AB2 is also present. Sturmtiger is reloading and almost ready for another fire. Oh, another shot, rather. AB2 is doing something very risky here. Oh! But it worked out. Took out the command panzer, now everyone around it. I think the Sturmtiger has a target. It needs to take out that KB2 probably. Elephant is repaired. That's a good shot there, the KB1 forcing it back. As you have more artillery shells landing around. Chocho's mainly going to move down the street here. It's going to be a very juicy target for that Sturmtiger. Once it sees all that. Yeah, it's already fine. And you can already see the Chocho was falling back. We lost one squad there, so that was actually pretty well done. Treated just in time. Any time later, they would have lost a lot more. I'm still not sure what the Soviets can do to push through all this. The Germans are quite well fortified, but the Germans also need to push out. This kind of problem you get to when you're not playing victory point games. It gets these stalemates. Oh, we have some fancy ideas here from Jekyll, which is unique to Sturm Tactics, which is the second SS, which can use captured PBSHs. Very fitting here on the Eastern Front. Oh, that's a bomb run. Takes out the Sturmtiger. Well done there from the Soviet Air Force. It's a very big and vulnerable target to an airstrike. But a third one is already being prepared. I really feel something like the Sturmtiger really should have a cooldown to get another one in after it's been destroyed, but I'm not sure that's possible. I don't know how much power the coders and modders have over this. Another T-45 is arriving. Takes out the Flammetzer. That's gonna force the Germans to pull back there. There's some Jaegers trying to move around here slowly. There's shells landing over. They're quickly pushing up here. Jagdpanzer is still quite firmly armored in the front. 85 has... Oh, that was a mine! That was a Soviet mine a bit later long ago that took out the gun of the Jagdpanzer. That is very rare. 85 is going for another shot, takes out the other Jagdpanzer. Well, that's actually done a lot of damage to the Germans in a very short amount of time. Here shows what one ace crew can do if they're used correctly. Ace crews are generally really damn good at what they do. They also have more guards arriving here quickly. We have another 85 arriving here. I think the Soviets have realized they just need to get more 85s out. There's lots and lots of 85s. The Soviets just keep trying to dig in too. E4 remains ready for action, as they have other howitzers also firing. That's 152mm from the Shock Army. Look at that pillbox. Both sides are quite exhausted. We have an assault artillery going in here. This entire area is about to be shelled. It's not good for the Soviet forces. They have to pull out of here. I think this might be breakthrough artillery, or this might be the kind of artillery that only fires when the Germans can actually have sight on the enemy. I think the rest of the Soviets in the point are actually safe. That's a lot of German officers just holding this little ground here. I think it's funny all the Sturmtigers have died in kind of the same location. Not a bombing run coming in from the Soviet Red Army, or Red Air Force. That's the anti-tank one, which surprisingly doesn't do much against infantry. Which makes no sense, to be honest. I think it should also be shredding infantry units. Perhaps one day they'll make that work. Again, it's either side's game. It's still back and forth. Oh, we have the Stormtroops getting very far behind the enemy line. Oh, they're trying to get behind the howitzer. Being hit by Soviet base defenses from here. I don't think this guy's gonna make it. Especially with the KV-2 just nearby. They will clear out the crew of that howitzer. Here comes the shock troops. Yeah, I think the stormtroopers are about to die. Yeah, they got cleared out. Sturmtiger's getting quite close to the front line. It's actually inside here of a tank hunter squad that's being also on fire. Then they're gonna leave into action. So you capture Panzerfaust. He tracks it. He gets behind it. We have no anti-tank grenades. He's tossing a Molotov. Oh! The K1 was trying to charge, but the Stormtiger just point blank. Oh my god! Yeah, no wonder they laughed at that. That is very rare to see. Now the KV-2 is just gonna come around the corner and be like, hello. And kaboom. Wait. What? Okay. I guess second time? Just hits a fire. Takes a while for the KV-2 to fire, by the way. It's not a very fast reloading gun. It hits, but oh, there's no effect from the deflecting, but it's still damaging everything around. That's why the 85 is here, I guess. It's going for a ram? Not a good idea. You can see how much the Soviets have to use just to get rid of it. And the KV-2 died because of it. That's not good. Yeah, the Sturmtiger is kind of ridiculous. But it feels like the Germans are kind of running low on steam now because of all that. So it's still pushing up down here the best they can. And Germans are still trying to set up a fortified position anywhere they can. Elephant remains locked down over here. Just have a recon team just keeping eyes on it. And I don't know where it is actually. Very cheeky. B4 fires again. I assume around here. Yep. Hitting the Germans quite close to hard. They've actually taken out the Panther term. Oh wait, the Panther term's up here, never mind. Two just look kind of similar at a glance. Oh! Oh, that must have hurt the Germans. That looked like it was a lot of units that died. Absolutely ridiculous, the B4. It is kind of the Soviets' take on the Sturmtiger, to be honest. The Sturmtiger is a lot more precise in what it does. Just so many artillery shells. And the shells just don't stop. There's some more munitions being airdropped in here for the Soviet Union to use. And what's really down here too. As I said before, it just doesn't stop. I'm not really having much to talk about right now while both sides are still trying to figure out what to do from here. So the KV-1s are gearing up. Looks like a plane got shut down very close to the front line there actually. We have more stormtroopers here from the Waffen-SS. Running into a lot of shock troopers with DPMs. And they get actually overpowered there, there's just too many machine guns. Oh! The howitzers are killing both sides. Absolutely ridiculous, this fight here so far. So many pioneers and student pioneers on the field. Okay, one is about to be outflanked here by Stock. You know where the elephant is though. Okay, one has been immobilized. He needs to focus on the Stock instead. But it's focusing on an elephant, which cannot really do much too frontally. Yeah, it's most certainly trying. Can't fault it for that. But I just don't think its gun has high enough penetration to get through the front of this thing. As the elephant has a lot of frontal armor to work with. He wants to focus on the Stock, but gets hit in the side. And ammo cooks off. The soldiers are getting more and more troops through down here. Yeah, I feel the Germans have run out of steam. We also have some Valonians on the field now. Good with MP-34s. Another Sturmtiger has arrived. So we're going to try and demo charge it, but they get mowed down by the Sturm Brigade. MP-476 also pushing up. Sturmtiger is ready to... That's not going to be a juicy target right here. Oh. That's why the Sturmtiger is so dangerous. Like, this thing is so ridiculous. It can single-handedly turn the tide of a whole battle. Yeah, I get what I'm sometimes saying. This is why I prefer victory point games. Because Annihilation games just last too long sometimes when you get to this point. It becomes so stalematey. Yeah, classic Annihilation, as Orkan says. But good to see I'm not the only one with that opinion. The victory point system is just way better, I feel. Makes the games not drag on for too long. You have a KV-8 here with a busted engine, or busted exhaust. Oh, actually it's just an engine damage. And motor shells just land around in the right spots. Looks like the Swords are preparing for the push here near the Elephant. Oh, B4 took out the pillbox. That's certainly an opening the Swords can make use of if they had the infantry available. It's like the B4 also managed to take out the tracks that are stuck. But the flag covers the flank here. And hard for the Soviet infantry to push up. Here comes the shock troopers though. They need to just get through there somehow. There's a heavy mortar here bombing from the Soviet army. Done the best it can, I think. Sturmtiger gets ready for another shot here. I'm pretty close to the front line. He's going to try and take out his position. Also immobilizes the KV-8 over here. Sturmtiger is pretty ridiculous, I feel. Germans have a little bit more armor to work with here, but will it be enough? Man-Panzer 4 from the Sturm tactics here are explosive rounds only, which are pretty useful. Makes it very ideal at dealing with infantry formations. Service cannot really advance in the Elephant that easily. Still way too well positioned. But now it should be able to move again soon if the Germans actually repair it. Jagdpanzer is moving up through the center here. Stock moving a little bit too far forward here, I think. Oh, Stock a good shit there on the KV-2 though. Jagdpanzer's over to take a shot. And takes it out. The KV-2 is not that armored. A little Elephant was waiting around to cut the KV-1. The shock troopers are trying to push through. AT grenades going out, just basic AT grenades though. They have to pull back there. What can the Soviet Union do here? What can the Germans do? It's just stalemating, as you can see. More 85s now arriving on the southern flank. The Bulgarians will need some more mines to work with here. That's getting around the flank here. They're going to try and see if they can take out this howitzer. KV8 is going for it. It's using a small gun. Actually, might be switching to the flamethrower. Oh no, it's using the small gun, which is not going to do anything. These things are just too armored. And Jagdpanzer takes out pretty quickly. And you know we've gotten pretty far into the game when we have doubled the combat music going on, which means the game can't really keep up. So I apologize for the double music going on, but there's not really much I can do to that. That's a lot of Sturmpioneers just being mowed down out there. The Soviets just keep pushing up here. Dealing with more Romanian, not Romanians, Hungarians. I wonder if we'll see the Romanians too, because that is a battle group they have access to. Let's see, they have the Hungarians and the Romanians, but we have not seen any Romanians, just Hungarians here. So just trying to set up a demo charge here. Did you succeed in doing so? So the Germans are doing a big counter assault to the center here with infantry. Probably because they have to do something. The Stormtroopers is doing a good job. They're starting to be suppressed though. Here comes the shock troops. That's a lot of shock troops. The infantry Stormtroopers are doing their best, but they get pinned down by the artillery. Stuka hits somewhere, takes out a howitzer. The Germans are still trying to push through here. I guess both sides are getting kind of tired of this battle, which makes sense. And the Flammheads are coming up here for the sender. Germans also losing troops other places. Mostly down here by the looks of it. And the Jagdpanzer there. I'm hitting the sender. Artillery shells are landing around wildly. Still Panzer 48 is now being requisitioned. Sturmtiger fires again. Overshoots. And 85 Ace is still being a very big threat here. 85 aces tend to be. Sturmtiger has to reload quick. And everyone else reloading. We need to cover. Oh, artillery shell ends at the back here. I was trying to go for this flag, Panzer headquarters. The Soviets are still pushing down here. I think the Germans might actually be losing now, suddenly. As they decide to try and push the sender, and they lost too much in it. We'll have to see. Because this battle has lasted for quite a while. Over an hour at this point. It's to be quite common for me sometimes. Artillery lands around the sender. KV2 on the move. 185. Sturmtiger gets ready for another target. Panzer IV gets cleared out. Sturmtiger is trying to move up to get a clear shot on something. Needs to get a big formation of Soviets to hit that. We're moving up here. Stormtroopers leading the way to scout ahead for it. That's a lot of Soviet forces. Yeah, it knows its target. It knows where it has to hit. Oh! Oh! That could have been worse, but that's still a lot. I much more prefer how Ironside does the Sturmtiger, where you get a warning. That's fine. Scorcher being activated here by the Soviet Union, so any German assault, the terrain is not going to be hit by Katyusha rockets. As you can see, some of them just going to get hit as they enter Soviet territory now. We'll buy the Soviets some more time. Takes a while for the rockets to hit, though, by the looks of it. We also mind that. Ooh, when that hits a rocket that takes them out. Lamphead's on the move. Sturmtiger also pushes up again. KB2 pushes up here, gets blinded. Lamphead's being very aggressive here. Let's take out by the 85. KB2 survives somehow. Hangon's trying to get close, but there's a Panther Twin blocking the way. The stalemate continues. Panzer IV goes for the KB1 up here. Oh, I think the Panzer IV might have overextended. This is a Panzer IV GA, so his turret is going to turn very, very slowly. That's the wheels of the Panzer IV GA. His turret is hand cranked. It's not electrical, but the Panzer IV H. Elephant on the move, more shock towards heading to our front line here from the Soviets. The Elephant keeps them suppressed. Looks like the Sturmtiger is still reloading, but it's about to be ready. So a sniper team down here. Panzer's tried to push up and gets shot. Looks like one of them left at this point. I kind of makes sense. This battle has gone on for so long. I can't understand why they are getting tired of it. It could have been a crash. You never know sometimes. There really is the problem with playing Annihilation. The battles just get to a point where it's just nothing really changes. It's just back and forth with a complete stalemate. And now the Soviets might actually be able to push through because there's one less German player to coordinate. Another plane coming in here. And to bomb the Elephant. Vessel has been immobilized. Oh, it's still alive though. The Soviets are just dropping in more and more munitions now. I feel the Soviets are only going to win because one German player left to stay in the game. I think we can speed up time a bit because it doesn't seem like there's not much else going to be happening for a while. But the AI will try to push every now and then, as you can see. It's not going to be very efficient at it. Because the AI it's not really good at playing Spearhead and Ironside, unfortunately. It cheats a lot to get the side effect. They also try to push down here. But again, it's just a lot of back and forth hit going on. Elephant gets assaulted again. Still holds.
Our soldiers are trained to advance rapidly.
As you can see, it's just a lot of the same. You can see all the shots that's trying to get through the front of the Elephant here, but nothing is working. It's just too frontally armored. Smoke to block it. And Sturmtiger moves up here in the center, opens fire, takes out this KV. That was almost a little bit of a waste, but who knows. The battle still goes on and on. Shotos push up here. Get around the flank there. Get up to the Sturmtiger, toss some anti-tank grenades. Doesn't do anything to it. Just too armored. 85 pushes up, takes out the elephant. Gets hit by the Panzer. Gets cleared out soon. And while this is going on, we also have a Panzer IV pushing up here. A little to stop it.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
We have another bombing run here, aiming towards the Sturmtiger. Oh, immobilize it and almost kills it, but fails. Now the Conscious managed to get the Panzer IV up there. Double tank hunters here for the Soviet Union. They're gonna try and go for it. I don't think they can stop it. And second Panzerfaust gets it. And it's over at that point. Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. Lasted a little bit too long, and that's why I kind of prefer victory point games. Still, I hope you all enjoyed regardless. I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.